How's it going, everybody? Chris Card's back through the mail. Monday, 6 returns for you today, including our first one back from San Francisco, California, where my Metropolitans took on the Gigantes this weekend. And we've got our first musician back on Through the Mail Monday. We've got Al Jardine of the Beach Boys on a 2013 Panini Beach Boys set. Signed all three very nicely there in thin black marker. Nice return from Al Jardine, of course, a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, inducted in 1988 with the Beach Boys. Played founding member of the Beach Boys way back in the day. Of course, I think he's one of the most recognizable Beach Boys since he kind of looked the same throughout his entire run. Had a beard a bit in the 70s, but for the most part, kind of just a blonde-haired kid, small, tiny dude. Always in the Beach Boys, and that was, of course, Al Jardine, who split from the Beach Boys in '98 after the death of Carl Wilson. Of course, Al went on to sort of do his own Beach Boys tribute show, a la sort of like a Ringo Stars All-Stars tour, and him and what's-his-face, Mike Love, sued each other a few times over the usage of the Beach Boys name, but did pick up, and actually, of course, Brian Wilson did his own thing too. I guess everyone just nobody really liked Mike Love, so they did their own tour. Mike Love did his own tour with the Beach Boys, and Brian Wilson and Al Jardine eventually got together and toured together. Why did I send to Al Jardine my first and only musician send-off? First of all, I had the cards. Second of all, I got into a wormhole a few months back saying to myself, I heard a Sloop John B live recording inside of a studio on their Beach Boys YouTube channel. I'm not sure how I came across it, but it was awesome. They sounded great. Of course, Al Jardine's son is awesome. His son tours with Al and is mainly the kind of the main vocalist and still hits all the high notes that the Beach Boys are known for. So that was really cool. And then I just started listening to the Beach Boys again. Of course, probably their best known or favorite album of mine, at least, is Pet Sounds, which is probably equivalent to maybe the Beach Boys or the Beatles and maybe Revolver, sort of their coming of age record where they sort of got away from the Sunshine and Girls and Cars theme and got into more adult themed stuff. So and did some more experimental stuff a la Revolver and the Beatles. So very cool return from Al Jardine. I'll stop with my commentary. I know it's probably not that interesting, but those are my thoughts on the Beach Boys and all that stuff. Awesome stuff to rediscover. I know the youth of today, there's just so much music out there that's good that just probably just gets lost in the shuffle. So I rekindled my love affair with the Beach Boys a few months ago and had these cards and looked up his address, and very few returns from him. Most people weren't getting personal items signed. They were getting like a signed postcard back or something. He actually signed my items. I did not get the postcard. So here's the information. Try your luck. I know he's on tour right now with his group. And that is it, my friends. The Beach Boys, Al Jardine. Let's move on, my friends, to return number 2. Return number 2 from Atlanta, Georgia. And we've got former catcher Steve Nosha. Steve Nosha, a 1973 draft pick of the Pirates. First round draft pick, actually, 24th overall. Went on to win a World Series with the Pirates in 1979 as they took the Orioles to 7 games and beat them. Nosha caught 4 of the 7 games. Very good series for him. Went on to play 8 years in the Bigs. Played 6 for Pittsburgh. Also played for both Canadian teams, Montreal and Toronto, as well, of course, as you see there on the 84 Topps card signed for the set. The Gigantes inscribed his playing number under the Giants, 7, and of course he was number 16 for the Pirates. Nice return from Steve Nosha. Got a card signed for my set, of course. 74 Topps, 84 Topps, 87 Topps, 89 Upper Deck are the 4 sets. I try to get as many cards signed as possible, so you probably see more of those than not in these returns on Through the Mail Monday. Let's move on, my friends, to return number 3. Phoenix, Arizona for our next return here. And we have Tony Larusa. All right, Tony Larusa completed my 93 Topps Gold Manager's card, already signed by Jim Leland. Of course, Tony Larusa, Hall of Fame manager, inducted back in 2014. Finished up his managing career in 2022 with the White Sox. And it was all downhill for the White Sox after he left. And I sent this off to the White Sox. I'm not sure if he's still a special assistant to the GM or I don't know what he's doing with Chicago, but he's still getting his mail, so that's where I sent this card off to earlier this year to get completed, and I'm very happy I did. I did get that Leland autograph prior to him stop signing, I think, earlier last year. I don't think he signed much in the last year, so I got him at just the right time. Very happy to get this card completed. Very, very, came out great, so very excited to get this card back. Let's move on, my friends. Next return. Not sure where this next return is from. The envelope is unmarked. I do have a stamp on it. A stamp I have not used in a long time, so this could be interesting. And we've got Dave Frybin here. Dave on a 75 Topps card. 74 Topps quad rookie card I actually have sent out to him. I have not received that back, but I got this back. Took a long time, I think. 6-year career. 5 of those with the Padres. Also spent some time in Toronto as well as Cleveland. Dave Frybin, nice return from him. Finally got here, but not complaining. Very happy to get this back from Dave. Would like that 74 Topps Padres card returned for the set. Of course, I have a 74 Topps Padres team card signed by a bunch of players, including Dave Winfield. I am not going to send that one to Dave. Like I said, I retired that card, put it in the binder with a bunch of signatures on it. Dave, of course, was part of that young group that was supposed to be heading to Washington. Of course, that Washington deal fell through, and the Padres remained in San Diego. Him and Spillner and Randy Jones, they had a pretty good staff, pretty good young staff there in the mid-'70s. Nice return from Dave. Moving on, my friends, to our next return. All right, gang. Next return is from Cleveland, Ohio. Just one more return after this one. And that will do it for this week's Through the Mail Monday. Thanks for watching, as always. Hit that like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's returns, including, of course, a musician. Al Jardine, our first musician here on Through the Mail Monday, as Mark Wagner makes an appearance. 9-year big league career as a light-hitting utility infielder. Got into 414 games over those 9 seasons, 5 with Detroit, 3 with Texas, 1 with Oakland, as you see there on a card, as well as a dual line drive minor league card, which I can probably get Ralph to sign. Cannot pronounce Ralph's last name. If anyone knows how to pronounce that, let me know in the comments down below. You guys know I love pronunciation and nailing it the first time. Not even going to take a stab at that. I don't know. Too complicated for me. And that is it, gang. Mark Wagner, there's information. Nice return from him. Moving on, my friends, we've got one more envelope to open. Let's just get after it. Orlando, Florida. Our envelope is stamped right there as I knock the camera out of alignment and out of focus from the looks of it, and I can't open the envelope. Wheels are falling off the bus here on our final return, but we're just going to have to power on through as we always do here. And we've got Sixto Lezcano. Sixto here on a sweet card. Looks like a little paper loss here. I'm not sure if it had a rough travel through the postal system or not, but looks like a little paper loss on here. Maybe it rubbed off on the index card somehow. I'm not sure, but regardless, I love this card, and I had to get it signed. I got it signed for $5 a card. I think he's now 10. Don't quote me on that. Your mileage may vary. Sixto Lezcano had a nice little 12-year career. Spent 7 with Milwaukee. In fact, he is on their Wall of Honor. Won a Gold Glove in 1979 and spent his remaining 4 years with 4 other teams. Nice return from Sixto Lezcano. Thought we were going to get another Sixto in the bigs with, I think, Sixto Sanchez. I don't think he panned out for the Marlins. I don't think he's even on the Marlins anymore, but anyway, there you guys go. Another Through the Mail Monday. Put it in the books. Thanks for joining me, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I do this every single week. Would love to have you along for the ride. And hit the like button. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of these returns this week. And that is it, my friends. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy your week. Last week of July. A great weekend for me as a baseball fan. Mets swept the Gigantes. Sorry, Hungry Man. You were actually correct. I actually thought the bullpen game yesterday was going to get the Mets. Of course it would, right? Low percentage of winning, and of course the bullpen just comes down and shuts down the Mets. But they squeaked it out, as they always do. Edwin Diaz made it interesting in the 9th. And, yeah, they've won, I think, 7 in a row. Boy, that ESPN broadcast is absolutely dreadful to watch. I don't know how anybody can watch that on a routine basis. If you're forced to watch it because your team's playing on Sunday Night Baseball, I'm sorry, but anyone that actually wants to voluntarily, routinely watch two teams each week on Sunday Night Baseball is that's like Guantanamo Bay stuff, man. That's torturous. That's you don't want to be in there. That's alligator Alcatraz. That's it's everything bad. It's they got that huge thing on the right side of the screen with the pitch, and it's just so much. It looks like everything's the same. It's just so much information. It's just always changing, and it's taking up half the picture, and you're missing balls landing in fair or foul territory. You can't see what's going on. They're not calling a game. They're just throwing it to break, and you're not sure why. You're like, are they changing pitchers? What's going on here? Why did they just go to commercial? I guess they're changing pitchers. They don't tell you anything. They don't show you anything. They don't show you any replays. Oh no, I take that back. They do show you replays. They're animated replays of like some computer generated like image of what just happened, except in like 1998 computer form PlayStation graphics, and it's just like, what? Why is this better than just showing the actual video of what happened? Like, what is this showing that you can't see on a regular video except the picture's worse quality? Anyway, my friends, thanks for watching. Sorry this is up a little bit late. Had it all done, actually. Had it done on, almost pretty much done on Friday or Saturday. I did the last little part here Sunday night, and then just watched what I watched. A Man Who Knew Too Much. Since a bunch of Hitchcock stuff is coming off of Netflix and the end of July, so I was watching that with my wife and totally forgot to upload the video and finish off this video with my audio and all that stuff. So here we are, Monday morning, bright and early. It's gonna be a hot one here in the Willamette Valley. Hope the heat dome or whatever's going on in your area of the country, I hope you guys are handling it just fine. And that's it. Thanks for watching, gang. See ya.